Let's talk about the single hardest working, most underappreciated hero in your entire home. It's this silent guardian of your comfort right up until the moment it's not. We're going to get into it.
I want you to picture this. It's the middle of August. The sun is just beating down, and the temperature outside is absolutely soaring. But inside, you're cool, you're comfortable, and then you hear it, or actually, you don't hear it.
That's it, the sudden deafening silence. It's the sound of your home's entire climate control system just giving up, and it means things are about to get really, really uncomfortable, really fast.
So why does this even happen? Let's dive into why your HVAC system, especially if you live in a tough climate, is in a constant, brutal battle for its own survival. I mean, just think about the sheer endurance that requires. We're talking May all the way through September, where your AC is basically running a marathon every single day. That kind of relentless heat puts an incredible strain on every part. The compressors, the coils, everything. It just wears them out so much faster. But here's the thing, it's not just the heat. Your HVAC system is fighting a war on multiple fronts, against enemies you probably never even see. Let's pull back the curtain and take a look at this invisible battlefield. Okay, so the first enemy? It's literally the ground your house is built on. In places with heavy clay soil, the foundation can shift around. This movement puts actual physical stress on those copper refrigerant lines, which can lead to these tiny, hairline cracks and leaks that just slowly bleed the life right out of your system.
Next up is humidity. Now, your AC is brilliant at pulling moisture out of the air, right? But all that water has to go somewhere. And the condensation inside the unit creates this perfect, damp environment for algae and mold to grow in the drain lines. And that creates clogs that can cause water to back up and, you guessed it, flood your home.
And finally, we've got the air itself. All that pollen, dust, and grass clippings get sucked into the big outdoor unit, caking up all those delicate metal fins. This is basically like asking your AC to run that marathon with the plastic bag over its head. The system literally can't breathe. It can't get rid of heat, so it's forced to work harder and harder until it just overheats and dies.
So with all these things attacking it, what are the parts that actually break first? Let's take a look at the anatomy of a typical breakdown.
Here they are, the usual suspects. You've got capacitors. Those are the little things that give the motors the jolt to get started. Refrigerant leaks from the ground shifting that we just talked about. Clogged drains from all that humidity. Dirty coils from those airborne invaders. And of course, blower motors that just get completely overworked. These are pretty much always the culprits.
But here's the good news. Your system usually sends out distress signals before it totally collapses. You just have to know what you're looking for. Are you hearing weird grinding or squealing sounds? Is the air coming out of your vents kind of weak? Are you seeing water pooling anywhere or actual ice forming on the lines? Or maybe the unit is turning on and off every couple of minutes. That's called short cycling, and it's a huge red flag.
And all of this leads to that one big, high-stakes question that every single homeowner will face eventually. You know you have a problem. So, do you pay to repair it, or is it time to just replace the whole thing?
All right, here's a super useful tool that the pros use. It's called the $5,000 rule. Let's say your system is, 12 years old, and you get a quote for a $500 repair. You just multiply 12 by 500 and you get $6,000. Since that number is over $5,000, this simple little formula tells you that investing your money in a new, more efficient system is probably the smarter financial move in the long run.
And this really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? You've got two paths. You can be proactive with tune-ups, which cost less, make the system last longer, and prevent those horrible breakdowns. Or you can be reactive and just wait for that emergency repair, which is always way more expensive, incredibly stressful, and you know it's going to happen on the hottest day of the year.
Look, the bottom line is that even if you do everything right, these systems just don't last forever, especially not in demanding climates. You can realistically expect to get about 12 to 15 years out of one. And just knowing that helps you plan ahead, so you're not caught completely by surprise. Okay, so you've made the call. You're bringing in a professional, either for a repair or a full replacement. Now, to make sure you get the best possible outcome, you need to know what real expertise actually looks like. You got to speak the language. A true expert does not guess. They perform what's called a manual J-load calculation, which is this detailed analysis of your home to figure out the exact right-sized unit you need. They follow all the local codes, they're federally certified to handle refrigerant, and they test everything thoroughly when the job is done. And of course, they give you clear, upfront pricing. This is what separates a real professional from just a part swapper.
And you have got to understand this part. Bigger is not better.
See, an AC pulls humidity out of the air when that moist air condenses on its cold coils, kind of like a cold glass of iced tea on a summer day. Well, if the system is too big, it blasts cold air, hits the right temperature, and shuts off way too quickly. It doesn't run long enough to pull the moisture out. The result? You get that cold, clammy feeling. It also short cycles, that constant on and off thing, which is like driving your car in stop-and-go traffic all day. It just causes massive wear and tear. Getting the sizing right is everything.
So in the end, that silent hero in your home, it's constantly communicating. It's making little noises, the airflow is changing, it's telling you when it's under stress. The real question is, are you listening closely enough to hear what it's trying to say?